So just wanted to, sorry it's like another kind of depressing topic, but, it's not like I want to talk about it all the time, but this just came up, and, I think I should sort of talk about it and explain this problem, that's occurring in South Korea. It also happens in Japan as well, and occasionally China. Abductions is what I want to talk about, and the reason why, I want to talk about it now is because just 10 minutes ago, I just got a message from one of the teachers to come down to one of these special classrooms where certain students need like more attention in order to learn. It's like a special needs type classroom that I was called down to, and I walked into the room, and there were two teachers, both of them who I'm friends with and I recognize, and there's one student who I see quite often on my way to school. I walk to school every day and I see her like 80% of the time, and yeah, so I didn't know what was up, but they had some fairly serious looks on their faces, and I sat down, and one of them proceeded to tell me that she got lost on the way to school, and I thought, that's interesting. She goes to school alone every day, so I don't know how she got lost, but maybe something happened that confused her or something. But then I realized that she was actually taken by somebody, abducted, and let go. Maybe just half an hour ago, and she just got to school. School's been in session for about 3 hours now, 3.5 hours. Actually, no, 3 hours. But anyways, so, I started to feel a little uncomfortable. What does this have to do with me? And I was told that she told those two teachers that the man that abducted her looked like me. And I was shocked. I mean, I wasn't insulted, like, how could you say that, I'm that kind of person. That's not like, especially when a girl that just went through some, serious stress. I'm not gonna burst out like that. That's just totally insensitive. And the main problem here is finding the guy that did this to her. So, for me, I was like, well, the one question I forgot to ask was the guy speaking Korean to you? Because I don't know how to speak a word of Korean. But I told the teachers to ask her, like, what kind of clothes was that guy wearing? And he's wearing like a sweater, like a knit sweater and stuff. And I'm wearing like an insulated, storm-proof, like winter jacket, basically, light shell. So... Oh, hi. Anyways, yeah, student just walked in. So, continuing with the story, I was talking about the appearance of I was talking about the appearance of the man that abducted that student, and there's nothing like mine, and yeah, I don't know, I did feel a little bit sad inside, though, like, not because I was doubted as a human being or questioned at all in the first place, like my character and stuff like that, but it was more that that student now will see that man whenever she sees my face, and, you know, it's just, yeah, it's just gonna suck. Like, for her especially, it's gonna bring back that emotional trauma. You know, I'd be lying if I said, you know, like, I didn't feel slightly upset about this whole thing. It was just weird. Apparently the man grabbed her by the arm, gave her 300 won, which is less than 30 cents. You can't really buy much for 300 won. And just, yeah, like, that's what he gave her. And then that was supposed to convince her to peacefully, you know, get abducted or whatever by this guy. So, yeah, just a little depressing. So, anyways, that was my personal experience, not a direct personal experience with abduction, but, you know, apparently even in a small town like where I am, well, actually, maybe because it's a small town, it's more common. There's less security, less people, you know, looking out for each other. But at the same time, if you live in the city, there's the whole group mentality, or not the group mentality, the bystander effect, where, you know, if you see something happening, someone in distress, somebody that needs help, no one goes to help them because they expect somebody, because there's so many people, to reach out their hand and try and help them. But nobody does because they all think the same thing. But anyways, you know, in a small town like this, apparently it's common to you know, successful abductions are not common, but abduction attempts are. And you know, I did mention in one of my earlier videos that there are drunk, you know, crazy, like, men walking around town at 5 a.m., 6 a.m. in the morning, trying to pick fights with other people. So, you know, I guess it's nothing new in terms of other, you know, behaviors, other incriminating behaviors, or just plain disruptive behavior. But, you know, like, there's a lot of cases of North Koreans abducting Japanese, Chinese, and South Korean women, girls. You rarely hear about men getting abducted. One of my other students told me how her little sister almost got abducted. You know, and she's so glad that it didn't happen. She would have been sad her whole life. You know, it's just one of those things that it's in the back of your mind. Everybody knows about it. But you just don't see it that often, you know. So it's a pretty big problem. There's some people that have been abducted decades ago that still haven't been accounted for. You know, they could have become a North Korean's slave or wife, or, you know, whatever. So, and it's probably not just North Korean people that are doing this, you know. Who knows? It could be Japanese people abducting South Koreans. It could be Chinese people abducting South Koreans too, and vice versa. So we don't know. No country is, I don't think, is innocent in all this. But yeah, just feel a little bit sad about this whole God, that's loud. I just feel sad about this whole thing. yeah, that's. I think that's something that should be talked about, and that's something that I think people should be educated about, and people back home should know if they didn't know about it. So, and if you did know about it, at least you got to hear, my experience. So.